Dennis, I think we're going to go top three or maybe even top two. You know, it's just going to be if we get little bursts of snow like this that can produce a ½ to an inch of snow in a very short period of time, we're going to get there like the little band that's sitting over us right now. We're going to go periods like this. We're going to go periods where it's not snowing. But the key was yesterday afternoon, it was snowing like crazy, 2 inches per hour, and that lasted pretty much throughout the night here in Boston to give us a top 6 snowstorm at the present time. All right, guys, here's the picture of the Boston Globe this morning, the front page, blown away, but I want you to pay particular attention to what's under that, the picture, which is the Massachusetts Turnpike during rush hour with virtually no traffic on that. How does that happen? It doesn't happen usually unless someone says stay off the roads. I want to bring in the man who made that decision, the Honorable Governor Deval Patrick of Massachusetts. First of all, Governor, how hard was it for you to make a decision like that?
Well, it's not a simple decision because people need to get around and want to get around, and you know, you're bound to get criticized for it. But what we wanted to be sure of is that emergency workers could deal with getting the roads with compound the emergency in people's cars at the side of the road.
Right, not to mention with the lack of automobiles, it has given you such a jump start on other states in New England of getting all this snow off the roads. I mean, we're hearing this morning of Rhode Island, Connecticut starting to close the roads. You did that at 4 o'clock yesterday. So the head start that you got has got to basically speak its volumes.
Well, we've got a lot of impatient residents who are asking now when it's going to be lifted so that they can resume their routines, and I totally understand that. We're going to take a look at midday when we expect the brunt of the storm to have passed.
Well, that's my next question, Governor. How bad off is your state? We know 400,000 at least without power at this point. How extensive is that power loss?
Most of it is concentrated in the South Coast area and in southern Worcester County. The outages compare to the October storm are about half what they were at this point in the storm. So I would say so far so good. Most of the crews have not been able to get out and really deal with those outages because the conditions on the roads are such. Are still treacherous and the storm isn't over. But as soon as the storm tapers off, I think we'll see a lot of work really concentrating on getting people's power restored.
What is your biggest concern going forward at this point for the state of Massachusetts?
Well, at this point, as we're rounding the 10 o'clock hour, it's the high tide, which is expected to cause some coastal flooding. And your reporter was saying just before you and I started to talk that there are voluntary evacuations happening already in Hull and communities south of Hull. So we'll be watching that very closely. Those are local decisions, and we're supporting them with National Guard and state police.
Well, Governor Patrick, as a man who makes a career out of getting people out of harm's way, I can't thank you enough for making that decision yesterday. You helped me do my job, and I think you helped save a lot of lives by not having those people out on the highway. So I commend you very much, sir, for making that decision. Thanks for joining us today. All right, guys, again, the governor of Massachusetts is speaking on behalf of his decision and also what's left here in the state, which, as you can see behind me, is a massive cleanup. Back to you.
No doubt, Jim, and maybe some of the heaviest snow we've seen, Jim, in the past 2-3 hours or so. So we're not done yet.
Right, absolutely. Sometimes we take our net caps off and we put our driver's ed caps on. You know, just look what the staying off the road has done. It's made it a lot easier for cleanup. It's going to get you on the roads faster in the end. So
absolutely. All right. Hey, a lot more coverage this morning. More than 4,000 flight cancellations. What's the latest on travel? We'll have that when we come back.
And we are live all day here for you on the air and online.
Severe weather brought to you by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state.
Hey, Mike, where do you have to?
Just diagramming this accident with my State Farm Pocket Agent app. You can also get a quote and pay your premium with this thing.
I thought State Farm didn't have all those apps.
Where'd you hear that?
The internet.
And you believed it?
Yeah, they can't put anything on the internet that isn't true.
Where'd you hear that? The internet.
Oh, look, here comes my date. I met him on the internet. He's a French model.
Bonjour.
State Farm, more mobile than ever. Get to a better state. Consequence number 8, waking the baby. Robitussin liquid formula soothes your throat on contact and deactivates